back to his hometown. His one village that he cried and teared when he left it. And he called it from a distance. والله إنك لأحب البلاد إلي ولولا أن أهلك أخرجوني منك ما خرجت. Wallahi, you are the most beloved city to my heart. And if your people did not expel me and kick me out, I wouldn't leave. So now you're back to the most beloved town, Ya Rasulullah. Why don't you stay there forever? Interestingly, all the 50 Sahabas who left Mecca with him in the both hijras, the hijrah to Habasha and hijrah to Medina, all of them went back to Al-Medina with him. Now you're back. You're back to your own home, your own village, in Pakistan, in Nigeria, in Dagestan, wherever you are. You can stay there. But the message, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is sending it between the lines. That your hometown is not where you're born. Your hometown is where you carry the flag of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. When Rasulullah came back to Mecca, it didn't feel the same. The amount of peace and tranquility that he used to receive where he built it and planted it in Medina doesn't feel like it anymore in Mecca. One major reason that Medina is where everything began. And this is where he settled. And he said it to themselves, يا معشر الأنصار والله لولا الهجرة لكنت امرئا من الأنصار. Wallahi, if it is not the hijrah, if it's not my trip of immigration, I would have labeled myself, I would have titled myself, I would have changed my last name to be among one of Al-Ansar. Why? Because they feel like me. Like we got the same blood, the same vibes, the same breed, myself and Al-Ansar. We both fought together. We lived together. We enjoyed, we shared this message together. The hub, the majority of this Islam is coming from Medina, even though the light began in Islam. Which tells you, wherever you stand, wherever you're able to carry the Islam and spread the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is where you belong. You don't belong where your mother gave birth of you. That's not your hometown. Your hometown is where Allah has placed you. مَقَامُكَ حَيْثُ أَقَامَكَ. And the place where you are at, you are able to spread La ilaha illallah. You are able to build masajid. You are able to hold this mic and say a word of haqq. You're able to bring co-workers and colleagues and employees in your workplace to Islam, an opportunity that you don't have in your hometown. And this is why all of you are San Antonians, are Texans. You're not where you belong. Probably also Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted to take the ajr of al-hijrah. Remember that he is the one who said, من مات بغير أرضه قيس له بين مولده ومنقطع أثره في الجنة. We shared this hadith before. Abu Ahmad, mashallah, is amazed, mesmerized. Whoever dies outside his hometown, outside where he was born, the angels would measure the distance between where he died and where he was born, where he's originally from. And he will be elevated with that distance in Jannah. So maybe you want to measure the distance between San Antonio and your country. Allahu Akbar. That thousands of kilometers is counted by Allah. And Rasulullah wanted to take that. If he died in Mecca, probably it's even though he's going to be the first one to knock the doors of Jannah and Firdaus, but yet all immigrants take that message from Rasulullah. You live wherever you live, but you never forget that the fruits of your work and your message goes back to Mecca. Keep in mind, Rasulullah, yes, lived and died in Medina, but he did not forget Mecca. He did not take off his skin. He did not change his name. He did not wearing the Western skin and taking off his tradition and his culture. He was still called Muhammad al-Makki, al-Qurashi, al-Hashimi. That's who he is. And this is one of the many reasons why he went back to Al-Medina. We would like just to conclude with the 3 minutes of the battle that took place during the 19 days. One spot in the Arabian Peninsula did not accept Islam yet. They're not easy. They're just as strong as Mecca. They actually feel head to head to Mecca. That place is Hawazan wa Thaqif, which is Al-Ta'if today. When they heard that Rasulullah has taken over Mecca, they prepared an army of 10,000 soldiers and they started moving forward. Rasulullah doesn't wait and he has his eyes, as always, outside Mecca. Outside everywhere. Who is the CIA agents of Rasulullah? Zubayr ibn Awam and Talha ibn Ubaydillah. Those two ones who never stick around. They're always outside. They bring the news to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Rasulullah prepares an army. The army is ready. They didn't put their weapons yet. They've been well armed, prepared for the conquest of Mecca. And they didn't take the shield off. Rasulullah said, move on. We got another hunt down. 10,000 soldiers of the Medina who left from Medina to Mecca, plus 2,000 of the Meccans, the new Muslims who just accepted Islam. And that's a total of 12,000 soldiers. Muslims have never seen an army like that. Probably for the first time ever, 12,000 fight side by side for the message of La ilaha illallah. They got fooled by themselves. They got so full of the idea that we are too many. And we said the famous line in the battle of Hunayn, لَن نُغْلَبَ الْيَوْمَ مِنْ قِلَّةٍ. Now, the thing about this battle, and the core which caused Muslims to lose at the beginning, that Rasulullah did not choose the place of the battlefield. If you remember in Badr, Rasulullah, the one who chose the place where the battle begins. He is the one who kept the wells of Badr behind him. When it comes to the battle of Uhud, he is the one who shaped the battlefield and put the archers on the mountain and Al-Maymana and Al-Maysarah. In this battle, Ghazwat Hunayn, he didn't do that. And Malik ibn Auf, the leader of Hawazin, he picked the battlefield to be Hunayn. Why? Because Hunayn is a deep valley. When you come from Mecca to Al-Ta'if, you have to go down. And going down will give them a chance to hide between the trees and the valleys. And once Muslims climb down that valley, they attack. One shot, they kill them. So Rasulullah ﷺ kept in mind, and he was conscious, that we should not go one batch. Let's go battalion by battalion. And he said to the army, لا تنزل دفعة واحدة بل فرقة فرقة. Don't go one shot down to this valley. I'm not feeling safe. Rasulullah had it in his guts. And the beginning was 1,000 men led by Khalid ibn al-Walid. The first battle ever that Khalid ibn al-Walid leads Muslims with it. Khalid starts going down with his soldiers, and he was just about to climb down the valley of Hunayn. Malik ibn Auf, 10,000 soldiers were hiding between the trees and the corners of the valley, started throwing arrows on them, taking them one after the other. Half of them ran away. The other half was killed. The other half was climbing back up to the valley. But you're climbing, there is another 10,000 coming after you. They started crashing. The whole army collapsed. Muslims are losing. Allah records these moments. And he says, وَيَوْمَ حُنَيْنٍ إِذْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ كَثْرَتُكُمْ فَلَمْ تُغْنِ عَنْكُمْ شَيْئًا. It's never about the quantity. It was never about the strength and the army and the nuclear heads that you have. It's never about that. لَمْ تُغْنِ عَنْكُمْ شَيْئًا وَضَاقَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْأَرْضِ. You 12,000 were crushed in that valley. ضَاقَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْأَرْضِ. Suddenly, this spacious land is very tight. You're crushing one of the horses, started running blindly with no destination. Rasulullah lost full control of the army. Ali ibn Abi Talib says, while everyone was running, Rasulullah was heading straight to the enemy. كنا نحتمي خلف رسول الله من سهام العدو. How brave Rasulullah was. We used to hide behind him from the attack of the enemy. Wherever we feel danger, we go behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No one was around him. And Rasulullah called Al-Abbas, Ya Abbas, call the Muslims, call the believers. And they started calling, Ya Muslimin, Ya Mu'mineen, O Muslims, O believers, come. Rasulullah said, this is not how you call them. ولكن ذكرهم بأيام الله. Remind them of the days of Allah. Ya Rasulullah, what days? What do I say? قال يا Abbas, because he has a loud voice. Call them with Bay'atul Aqabah. O people of Aqabah, those who gave the bay'ah on the day of Aqabah. O people of Ar-Radwan, those who gave the bay'ah on the day of Hudaybiyah. Call them by the Quran. Ya Ahl al-Baqarah, who is the people of Surah al-Baqarah. Those who memorize al-Baqarah. Started there. It rings a bell. Ya Ahl Imran, the people of Al Imran, come here. Ya Ayyuha al-Muhajirin, Ya Ma'shar al-Ansar. When everyone hears something relates to him, they started coming one after the other, one after the other. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam managed to collect 100 Sahabis. Imagine, 100 out of 12,000 fighters. Those are the ones who brought the battle back. Those are the ones who brought the destination and the campus of the battle and turned the table against Malik ibn Auf and his army. And then everyone started coming back and coming around. And this is the second time that the angels came back. The angels came down, but not to fight. Angels fought with Muslims and believers only on one occasion, the Battle of Badr. They did not come down. Never. The day of Hunayn, Allah brought them down. فأنزل الله سكينته على رسوله وعلى المؤمنين وأيدهم بجنود لم تروا. And Allah brought soldiers that you could not see, but not to fight, but just to rest you ashore, to give you sakina. Sakina, braveness, courage to fight. And Muslims managed to turn the table, collect the soldiers and fight and win the battle after a loss. And Malik ibn Auf lost. And when he came to the battle, the idiot, he brought his wife, the ladies, the children and the men. Ta'if was empty. Everyone comes out to this battle. Why? If we are victorious, the women and the children celebrate with us. And if we are dead or defeated, the women and the children die with us. We don't want them to be taken as women slaves. We don't want our children to be sabaya, to be abid. So he brought the whole city. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam taken advantage of all of that. This is one of the days, the most amount of spoils that Muslims received in the history of Rasulullah was the day of Hunayn. 24,000 camels came in the hands of Rasulullah. 24,000, you can't see the end of that. 10,000 horses. Needless to mention the amount of swords and shields and money and silver, and just mention endless amount of spoils. The battle comes to an end. Rasulullah ﷺ started collecting who died and who's still alive. He finds Khalid ibn Walid on the corner. وَمَا عَلَى جَسَدِهِ مَوْضِعٍ إِلَّا وَفِيهِ ضَرْبَةُ رُمْحٍ. He found Khalid ibn Walid. He was the beginning. He was at the head of the battle. He took all the shots. And he was just on the ground, wounded from every part. Rasulullah ﷺ comes to him and he spits on his hand and he starts wiping on his skin. And he says, شفاك الله, قم يا أسد الله, قم يا سيف الله, قم يا سيف الله المسلول. Khalid ibn Walid says, والله ما مسح رسول الله على موضع إلا وقد كان أحب إلي من جرحي فيه. I wish all of my body was wounded for Rasulullah to wipe and keep wiping. And he went up after Rasulullah, spit on him on the horse as if nothing has touched him. Rasulullah ﷺ collects all the spoils and he starts distributing, giving the spoils to those new Muslims who just accepted Islam. Ya Safwan, come here, take whatever you want. Ya Aba, who accepted Islam recently, come, take whatever you want. To the point that some Arabs were not even Muslims. They went back to their tribes and they said, oh, my tribe, come and accept Islam. فَإِنَّ مُحَمَّدًا يُعْطِي عَطَاءَ مَنْ لَا يَخْشَى الْفَقْرَ. Muhammad is giving donations like no tomorrow. Just accept Islam and take it. Abu Sufyan comes, says, Ya Muhammad, إني لأراك من أكثر العرب مالا. You got lots of money there. أعطني. Indirectly, give me something. فأعطاه 100 من الإبل. He gave him 100 camels. فقال يا رسول الله, what about my son Yazid? Give him another 100. What about my son Muawiyah? Give him another 100. And he called Bilal, أعطيه 40 أوقية من فضة. Gave him 40 ounces. I don't know how much that in kilograms of gold and silver. And he gave similar to his son Yazid and his son Muawiyah, to the point that he could not carry it. He said, Ya Rasulullah, can you order one of your servants, one of the slaves here and there to carry it with me? Rasulullah said, no. لا يا أبا سفيان. هذا متاعك تحمله اليوم في الدنيا وتحمله معك غدا في الآخرة. This is your money. This is your wealth. You will carry it today in dunya, and you will carry it with you tomorrow in akhirah. Don't feel too much excited and happy when dunya comes to you, brother. It's just an extra burden, an extra question on the day of judgment. من أين اكتسبته وفيما أنفقته. At the end, a group of people who did not receive any spoils, did not receive a single penny out of all that, Al-Ansar, the most beloved people to Rasulullah ﷺ, did not get a single penny of that, of all of that collection. Sa'd ibn Ubadah comes to Rasulullah and says, Ya Rasulullah, Ansar claim that you have forgotten those who stood by your side from day one. And now you remembered your people, huh? You're giving to Abu Sufyan and Safwan and Ikrimah. You're giving to the Meccans and you're not giving to the Madinis. Rasulullah ﷺ told Sa'd ibn Ubadah, go and collect all the Ansar for me. Let me have a private discussion with them. That private discussion, for those who are interested to know it and get deep into it, they may look up the last Friday khutbah, inshaAllah. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Sallallahu wa sallam ala nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Brother Sabri, tafadhal. Naam.